Hi, this is Steve. Yes, we are. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. And good afternoon. I hope you're well. Hi, this is Steve. Yes, we are. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. And good afternoon. I hope you're well. Hi, this is Steve. Yes, we are. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. And good afternoon. I hope you're well. Understood. We'll get going in 3, 4, 5 minutes. Hi, this is Steve. Yes, we are. We'll get started.
73 from Poland, SO6, NAK, Sierra Oscar 6, Norway Alpha Kilo, and 73 on testing, stand by.
Good day, all. Welcome to today's session of the Worldwide RAG Q Amateur Radio Net. We're here to chew the rag with our radio friends across the planet, share information, and provide technical assistance if we're able to. We meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, which during the summer is 1500 UTC or GMT, or 1600 hours in the UK. This is a directed formal net. Please wait until you're recognized before passing your traffic. My name is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. I'm K1SHD, it's Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta, and I'm located in Central Texas, about 30 minutes north of downtown Austin. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly using standard ITU phonetics, and when recognized, we ask for your first name and city. Importantly, because there are so many relays and connections that it takes to construct this net, please always allow 3 to 5 seconds after and over before transmitting to allow them all to reset. Now to begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? Please come now. Over. I've nothing heard. That's great. Today's question to get going are what are some of the most significant ways amateur radio has been challenged by or has had to adapt to the rise of digital communications or the internet. So we can think about that in a minute. Now, general check-ins for the Worldwide RAG Q Amateur Radio Net, please come now. Over.
Good day, this is Whiskey 1, Alpha Delta, W180, Frank, in Minden, Nevada. Good day.
Frank, good morning. Hope you are well. Thank you for your check-in on this Easter Sunday morning. And what do you think about today's question? Over.
Well, Steve, the thing that I think about this is that we've seen so many good things that come from the internet, especially the ability, for instance, for us to do this net the way we can do it. And I'm sitting here using a very low power UHF radio and talking to you in Texas and hearing people all over the world. So that's amazing. And in real time. without hardly any delay, excellent audio, those kinds of things. The downside, of course, I believe, is that there's been some dumbing down of people's capabilities in working with RF and understanding RF, which is the principle of the hobby. So it's a, what can I say, a two-sided coin. Back to you from WWARG.
Well, Frank, I think you have succinctly answered the question, and I'm not sure there's too much else to say, but we'll see what other people think. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Any final comments before we move on? Back to you for one final. Over.
Well, nothing really. Happy Easter and happy Passover to everybody that's listening, and hope that everybody has a great day. We're having a beautiful day out here in North Nevada. It's right now just about 5 or 6 degrees above Celsius, above freezing, and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So, going to be a lovely day. Hope everybody enjoys this the same. I'm not so sure that's going to happen on the in the Midwest and East Coast of the U.S. I don't know about the rest of the world. I haven't followed it. So, great day from WWARG 73.
Frank, thank you. 73. Take care. It was raining a short time ago where I am, and I guess we'll take it. We never have too much pure water in this part of the world, and it's growing very quickly, and there's always a demand for more. So maybe it wasn't the prettiest day, but no one complains about a good rain. Moving on, looking for general check-ins for the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. Please come now. Well, it's Easter Sunday, and it doesn't feel like there are too many of us here. Before we got going, 20 EBT Martin, we visited for a second. Why don't you take your shot at checking in formally, and I don't have to live with dead air. This is K1SHD to 2E0 EVP. Martin, are you still there? Over. Sure, Martin. Amateur radio has changed a lot. The internet has made a tremendous difference in the way people communicate, and it's affected amateur radio. When you say the internet, you have to include digital modes of communication in addition to the old, long-standing ones. So what do you think? What do you think the ways are that amateur radio has been affected or challenged? And is it good or bad? Over. I understand. I'm still one of the old guys trying to communicate on HF, and the technology has moved awful fast for me. I'm a member of Discard and on WWARG, but I have to admit I don't use it that often. I think it is a challenge to some of the old-time radio frequency pursuits. We do have to remember that if we lose electricity or lose the internet, that HF radio is still there, and it may be our last vestige of emergency communications. Well, thank you. Any final comments, Martin? K1SHD to 2E0EVP. Understood. I think if there's a nuclear war and we're close enough to where the points of attack are, we won't have to worry about whether or not our radio works. I'm about 200 miles from all of the chemical and oil processing in the Houston area, and that's about 300 kilometers. And I'm not sure that's far enough away, because I'm sure they would be a target, the Houston Ship Channel area. But your point is well taken. Thank you for checking in today. Hopefully more people are on board on the radio now, because this is the Worldwide RAG2 Amateur Radio Net, and we are looking for additional general check-ins for the net. Please come now.
Mike 7 Victor Mike Alpha, M7 VMA Keith in Bishop Auckland, England.
M7 VMA, good afternoon. Happy to take your check-in. The microphone's yours. Over.
M7 VMA returning. Afternoon, Stephen. Hope all's well over that side. I've been listening to some of the comments, and I'm kind of on board with this it's not real radio comment that you keep hearing, because if it wasn't for being able to do things like this, we wouldn't be able to speak. Back to you.
Jace, that was very succinct, but that's my agreement, although it does allow a lot more people to get involved. Radio technology can get complicated. My background was on the chemical side of the world, not the electronic side of the world, and so there's a couple things I've struggled with getting my advanced licenses, but I did get to do it. Any additional comments you have for the net before we move on? Back to you for one more. Over.
M7 VMA returning. I think my last comment would be something that I just heard this week on one of the YouTubers from England who does Mazzy dog walks, and he just said enjoy the hobby, which is what I'm trying to do, and I am enjoying it. Back to you.
I agree. It is a wonderful, although sometimes expensive hobby. Would you do me the favor of spelling your last name, your first name for me to make sure I have it correct? Thanks. Over.
Yeah, M7 VMA returning, Stephen. It's Keith Deal of Bishop Auckland, England. Back to you.
Thank you. Moving on, this is the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. It's Sunday, April 20th. It's Easter Sunday. And there aren't too many of us around, but some of the diehards. My name is Steve, Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta. And I'm looking for additional general check-ins for the net. General check-ins, please come now. Over.
Yeah, Golf 7, Oscar Sierra Papa, based in Northamptonshire, England.
The last UK station, would you wait an extra second or two before transmitting so the relays can reset? Your call sign and first name got cut off. Please come back. Over.
The call sign is Oscar Sierra Papa.
Wow, your signal broke up. Can anybody relay that for me? Over.
Oscar Sierra Papa.
I am so sorry. The only part I heard of it is Oscar. And I'm not sure what to do. Why don't you go ahead with your check-in, and maybe we can pick back up on your call sign at the end. Anyway, good afternoon. I hope you are well. Over. I copied Gulf 7, Oscar Papa Sierra Martin. Thank you very much. The Gulf 7 station, did you copy what Martin had to say? And perhaps try a different gateway? Over. Well, all I heard was breathing. Let's move on, and perhaps the Gulf 7 station can come back in a couple of minutes. We hate to miss on everybody. Are there additional general check-ins for the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net? This is K1SHD. Over. Nothing heard. It is Easter Sunday morning, and people, I'm sure, perhaps are in church, perhaps with family. Passover has just ended, so again, but it's Sunday. So I'm not sure what to say right now because it's sort of been I have one joke about the retired couple, and one day the wife asked the husband, "What are you going to do today?" And he said, "Nothing." And she responded, "But that's what you did yesterday." And the husband said, "Yes, but I wasn't finished yet." So that's the airtime I can fill up. Hopefully people thought that was somewhat funny. I think both Scott and Stuart are with family today, and that's as it should be. So now that I've taken a few minutes, let's ask, are there any more additional general check-ins for the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net, including the G7 station, if you've switched gateways? Over.
W1AD recheck.
W1AD, go ahead with your recheck, please. Over.
W1AD. Steve, I'm not sure actually, like the Vermont link, I'm not sure it's working. It might be coming out on their system, but it doesn't look like anybody's having any luck getting back in. I'm just watching the dashboard here, and I initially connected in through there and it didn't work. So I had to find a different node to come in on. So and it just doesn't seem to be operating in the normal way it works. So there might be some issues with the network as well. As you say, or as we were discussing, that is one of the difficulties with the internet, is that it's not always there, and if we put too many nickels in the meter for that, we're going to be sorely disappointed when, as somebody said, when we actually need the communications. Even the same holds really for on the higher frequencies, the FM stuff, the repeaters. A repeater can go down easily, and then even with a lot of the other systems, Yaesu Fusion, DMR, and all of those are really server dependent. And I would suggest that most people really do some if they're going to do nets on the on repeaters, is to also do a simplex net, see how far their signals get on simplex, because that's may well very well be where it comes down to. And of course, HF in 99% of the cases is point to point, so you don't have to usually worry about that. Back to net control from W180.
Frank, thank you for the comment. I am myself on the internet using EchoLink, but I'm hooked into Scott's node, W1SBW, in Vermont, and I guess people are hearing me, so I'm not sure what to say. I think part of it's the fact that it's a holiday weekend. Either that or You know, Scott and Stuart are just a whole lot more popular than I am. They're just, you know, how it is. If you're one of the cool kids, you get more traffic. Anyway, thank you for your comments, and I agree. Being on some of these nets, it's essentially voice over IP, but requiring a license to participate in the net and have that group of friends. It's unfortunate that HF radio can get so expensive between the hardware and the antennas. And I wish I was in a place where I could have a much better antenna than I do, but I'm not sure I'd ever put up a 40-foot tower. So those are our comments. Let's try to move on. Maybe other people have logged in by now. This is the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net. I'm K1SHD. Are there additional general check-ins? Please come now to the net. Over.
Kilo Charlie 1, Kilo Uniform Tango, Vermont.
Two stations try to check in simultaneously. Mike in Shrewsbury, Vermont, I heard you. Would you mind hanging on, please? And the other station, please come back with your call sign now. Over.
Kilo Charlie 2, November Juliet Victor, KC2 NJV.
KC2NJB, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me go back to Mike in Shrewsbury, and then we'll come back to you. Mike, Shrewsbury, Vermont. I'm going to look up your call sign real quick, or please give it to me. And the microphone is yours. Over.
Thank you for putting that on. And this is KC1, KUT, Mike from Shrewsbury, Vermont. Well, I survived the ice storm with my antenna. I had a half-inch ice on my HF, and I took it down. But yeah, I know what you mean about the HF being expensive. I've put a lot of money into it. So I'm still looking for a 600-watt amplifier, and I think I can do better than any dentist pulling teeth. But anyway, that's what I got to say about the HF. I'll send it back to you.
Mike, thank you. There is some, I have you KC1, KUT. There is some static in your communications. Sorry about the ice storm. That's tough, particularly on an antenna. Regarding a 600-watt amp, with the wire antenna I currently have up, I think it will blow it out. So I keep to my 100 watts and hope it works. I don't know I can get more than a few thousand miles, though. And thanks for your comments. Before we move on, do you have, let me come back to you for one final. Over.
I've got a pretty busy afternoon planned, and I just like to wish everybody on the net a happy Easter, and thank you again for putting the net on. KC1, KC.
KC1, KUT, Mike, thanks. Appreciate your checking in. I look forward to talking to you again. Okay, waiting in the wings, KC2, NJV. The microphone is yours. Please give me your first name and city. Over.
My name is Wayne, KC2NJV. I'm in Belmore, New York, which is on Long Island. And while we haven't had any storms recently, I had a brand new antenna put up last April, a brand new antenna cable. And sometime during December, I think the squirrels had a field day, and now I have an antenna with a severed antenna cable, and I have to do it all over again. Other than that, life is a bowl of cherries. KC2NJV out.
Wayne, I'm sorry about the squirrels. That's too bad. We had a question for today, and that is your opinion about the challenges or enhancements to amateur radio from the digital technologies and the internet. Is it real radio? Of course, we're partially on the internet right now. But is it real radio? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? What do you think? Come back, please. Over.
I think it makes it better. It makes it different. And I think radio or ham radio right now is very challenged from the people that are still in powers of position within the ARRL and elsewhere, that they don't want to move the needle forward. And if you don't move forward, you disappear. And the number of hams are decreasing. Kids don't want to get involved. Well, who's the next generation? So the more we can do to move the technology along, the better. And by the way, some old technology is resurfacing.
Well, thank you for your opinion, Wayne. You know, it's going to move on. No matter what any of us do, and I guess we got to get on the train. I personally still like fiddling with HF, but then I'm an old timer, and it's what old timers do. Thank you so much for your check-in. We look forward to talking to you again, and enjoy Long Island. I can say that with a capital G. And that's an inside joke, I'm sure. This is the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. This is Steve, Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta. And we're looking for more general check-ins to our net. Anyone waiting with general check-ins, please come now. Over.
Victor Echo 9, Juliet, X-Ray, Tango. Jim, New Brunswick, Canada.
Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Echo X-Ray, Charles in Kentucky.
Thank you both. Net Control recognizes VE9JXT and KC4ZEX. Jim, VE9JXT in New Brunswick, Canada. You were up first. Good morning. Please tell us any traffic you may have. Over.
Not really any traffic. We checked into the Atlantic Canada DMR net last night at 2000 hours New Brunswick time. That was a good net. Every Saturday night it's on 30205. I heard your question there and the operator that came before, and I have to agree with him. You know, I'm very fortunate. I work from home as I am today till 9 o'clock tonight. I have 9 radios going. DMR, AllStar. I have a couple fire radios going. I have a couple public safety radios going.
I have 2 Moncton local repeater radios going, and I still have 3 or 4 that aren't even turned on. So I'm pretty fortunate that way. I firmly believe that DMR is a good thing. I got back into it years ago. And I find it extremely good for, I guess, people who live in apartment buildings that can't put up antennas due to restrictions and all that. And some of those buildings are pretty strict. If you put up an antenna, we catch you, you're out on the street. So DMR is a good avenue. It helps the amateur radio field go. Same as same as AllStar. I just got into AllStar mode a couple of months ago, and I had a very good teacher guide set me right up to the nines and configure it and all. And I'm very happy with that. I actually have another radio coming within a week, the Baofeng DM32 dual band analog DMR. Looking forward to that to add to the collection. Back to you, Net Control. Thank you for calling me in.
Well, Jim, it feels like you have more radios than all the rest of us put together, at least that are still on board on this net right now. We're very impressive. You're not exactly in the middle of nowhere. The technology is moving so quickly. I'm 79 years old, and I think I've decided to let some of it pass me by because I won't see the end of it, but that's okay. Thanks so much for your check-in. We look forward to talking to you every week. I won't be here next week. I think it's Scott's turn. But thanks so much for your check-in. Any final comments before we move on? Over.
No, you do have a couple of years on me. I'm 60 years plus. I grew up with, I got into it on a tube set shortwave radio that was handed down to me, inherited, shall we say. And we're going back, 50 some odd years. I'd stay up all night listening to that, all different countries around the world. And that's how I got involved and just grew from there. 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and the public safety and all that. It just grew and grew. I guess the only modes I'm not into is the P25 right now. And I am looking at satellite communications. I'd like to give a hand in that, but I'm very fortunate to work from home for the last 3 years, and I have all the radios going unless I'm on a work call or something like that. And it's good to stay active right to the end. I will get your call sign for the log, and I'll definitely email you, VE9JXD.
Great, Jim. My call sign is Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta. And I need to move on to KC4ZEX. Charles in Kentucky. Charles, good morning. Happy Easter. Hope you are well. Over.
Good morning to everybody. Nice day today. About 68, 69 degrees right now. I'm probably going to go up around 80. Last few days, weather-wise, have been pretty good. HF last week was down quite a bit. I usually run some 10, 12, and 17 meters. Had a lot of fun all winter, but last week was not a good week. Most days, either signals was down or the noise levels was high that you couldn't do much. I'm not big into the digital mode. I've, like I said, got back into the HF back in November. Done real well all winter. I'm 74 years old now and getting too old to do much antenna work. Hopefully summer gets here, I'll get me up something for 40 and 75 meters. But I keep a 2-meter rig going all the time, and I've usually got some scanners going on. I'm on the local fire department, and I keep radios on for that all the time.
Charles, are you in the local fire department as a first responder? Over.
I have been with the fire department for 48 years now. I'm the secretary, been the secretary for about 43, 44 years of that 48. And I used to make a lot of runs, but I haven't made any runs the last 5 or 6 years because I'm really getting where it's hard just to get up and down out of the truck, so I don't make runs anymore.
Well, copy that. I wanted to give you my compliments anyway. That's a wonderful thing, and being a first responders are the real tough guys in the country, and glad to hear it. Thank you so much for the check-in. Come back to you for one final before moving on. Over.
Okay, well, everybody have a good day. Like I said, it's warming up, probably going to get pretty real nice this afternoon. May go back to raining overnight, not be too good tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. So we'll be listening there, KC4ZX.
Charles, thank you. It's 41 minutes after the hour. This is the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. My name is Steve, Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta, and we're looking for more additional check-ins to the net. Come on, be our friend. Anyone else waiting to check in, please come now. Over.
Go from Lancashire, England.
Station trying to check in. You were very broken up. Please, I could not hear your call sign properly. Could you try again, please? Over.
Your call sign is Oscar Sierra.
Well, I got the Oscar Sierra part. I'm so sorry. Can't do any better. Is anybody, perhaps with a better connection than I have, can anybody relay that last station? Over.
Yeah, there's Oscar Sierra.
I'm sorry, it's not working for me. Go ahead and pass your traffic anyway, and we'll take a shot at it. And maybe things will clear up. I said being an optimist. Come on back one more time. This is K1SHD, over.
This is Golf 7, Oscar Sierra Papa, trying a different way. Over.
Golf 7, Oscar Sierra Papa. That was as good as the previous one was difficult. Thank you so much for trying a different communication. Do you have any traffic for the net this morning? Over. Golf 7, Oscar Sierra Papa. Are you still there? Over.
Yeah, that's a Roger from Golf 7, Oscar Sierra Papa. Based at TGIF here is Northampton in England. Weather here is blue skies and fine. back to the net controller.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the check-in. When you come back, could you give me your first name, please, so we can have it for our log? And today's question had to do with the internet and digital communications. Is it an impediment to ham radio or an enhancement? What's your opinion? And again, your first name, please. This is K1SHD to Gulf 7 Sierra Papa, Gulf 7 Oscar Sierra Papa. Over.
This is Gulf 7 Oscar Sierra Papa. The name here is Chris. Charlie Hotel Romeo India Sierra Chris. And as far as DMR goes, I think it's an enhancement to radio communications, because you can use the system to check on other modes, other modes. You can contact, for instance, on DMR, and then try at a later date to contact the same people on HF. So I think it's a really good enhancement. I fully support it. Over.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your opinion. I try a little bit of both myself. And we've had, the net's been going on for about 45 minutes now. We've had people who love it and people who don't think it's so helpful. So there are a lot of us with a lot of opinions. Thank you so much for your check-in. Before I move on, any final comments? Over.
I think you're doing a great job as net controller, and it's interesting to hear everybody's views, particularly in a different country. So yeah, I'm fully up for the whole DMR thing. So that's the final for me. I'll continue listening on the side, and have a good day from me.
Chris, thank you. We look forward to speaking with you again. This is the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net. This is K1SHD. It is 47 minutes after the hour, and we're still looking for general check-ins. Any general check-ins, please come now. I have nothing heard. What usually happens is if I say this is last call for check-ins to the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net, 2 or 3 people all of a sudden show up. So let's try that last call for the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net. Last chance this week to get into the net. Please come now with your check-in. Over. Station trying to check in. Your communication was too faint to hear. Could you try again, please? Over.
Kilo 7 member from Island United.
Oh, the station trying to check in. I'm sorry, I could not understand what you said. Unless somebody can relay, or you can try again very slowly and loudly, please. Over.
Kilo 7 Romeo Oscar November, Rexburg, Idaho, United States.
Got it that time. Kilo 7 Romeo Oscar November in Vicksburg, Idaho. If I can have your first name, sir, for the log. And good morning. Please pass any traffic you may have. Over.
No traffic at this time. Just wanted to get on the net to say hi to everyone. First name is Ron. Romeo Oscar November. Ron.
Ron, thank you for the check-in. This morning we've been discussing digital radio, and is it an enhancement or an impediment to classical ham radio? What's your opinion? Over. Do you have an opinion? Over.
I'm fairly new to ham radio, and I don't really have an opinion. Although at the current time I'm using EchoLink because I don't have my radios up and running.
Understood. Thank you. Yes, one thing about digital radio, if it didn't exist, we wouldn't have this net. And I don't know whether it's appropriate to be a purist or not and only be over the air. So it'll shake out over time. Ron, thanks so much for the check-in. We look forward to talking with you again. If you're new to our net, please look at our Facebook page, Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. And there's a lot of information there that may be of interest. This is the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. It is currently 53 minutes after the hour, and we had gone to last call for anybody trying to check in. So if that's you, please come now. Over.
2 Echo Zero Echo Quebec November in the Hutton South Shields.
And Charlie Sierra Papa, WB9 CST.
Let me recognize 2 stations, 2 Echo Zero, Echo Quebec November, and Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Sierra Tango. Going to them in order. 2 Echo Zero, Echo Quebec November, David. Good afternoon, hope all is well. Please pass your traffic. Over.
Roger, sitting in the hut, building, actually building a box to house a small amplifier I've built for doing some guitar work and that. Watching my little West Highland dog, who is sitting in the laughter of the sunshine here. Just outside the hut, she's found a place where she's quite happy to sit. And yeah, the digital radio, very handy, I've got to be honest. I haven't got the full pure digital radio, but I do use the links here. In fact, one of the GB3ZN actual equipment is based at my house, or some of it's based at my house. Obviously, it belongs to M0OFT. Back to you there, sir. 20EQN.
David, thank you. Yeah, M0OMT built himself that palace out back for Radioland. I understand you're putting up a small shack yourself. That's great. And we're remembering that if it wasn't for digital radio, we wouldn't be on this net. So there are great things about it. And perhaps some radio technology is being lost for straight over-the-air folks. But David, thanks for the check-in. Looking forward to talk to you again. WB9CST. I've not taken your check-in before. Can you please slowly give me your first name and city so I can write it down for our log? Over.
Yeah, Whiskey Bravo 9 Charlie Sierra Papa. The name here is Richard in Paris, Texas. Over.
Richard, thank you. I have you corrected. Call sign WB9CSP, Sierra, Charlie Sierra Papa. Richard in Paris, Texas. I'm sitting just north of Austin, and we'd have to communicate on HF with the ground wave, so close together. Do you have an opinion about digital radio, and is it an enhancement or a competition for old-timey HF? Over.
Yeah, I think digital radio's alright, but I've never used it before, so the only time I used it is when my friend let me use his system fusion radio. But other than that, I don't really like it, only because the cost. It's not very cost, friendly. If you want to get into it, I could buy a Baofeng, a nice one for about $30, and the cheapest DMR or system fusion radio I saw starts at about $99 to $179. So that's why I haven't really gotten into any digital modes over.
Agreed. Well, and for HF radio, you can multiply that by 10. So at least. But understood. Thank you so much for your opinion. Thank you for your check-in. We look forward to talking to you again. It's getting late. It is 3 minutes before the hour. So let me continue. We were in last call for the Worldwide RAG2 Amateur Radio Net. Last call for general check-ins. Anybody waiting to check in? We're waiting for you. Please come now. Over. I have nothing heard. Let's try it again. It's almost the top of the hour. Last call for anyone waiting to check in for the Worldwide RAG2 Amateur Radio Net. This is Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta. Over. This is K1SHC. It looks like anybody who was waiting to check in has. And we've had a good conversation this hour. Let me thank everyone who participated, everyone who still hung in with us. It's time to close the net down and return all these frequencies and connections to regular amateur use. Thank you again all. This is Kilo 1 Sierra Hotel Delta, out.